Welcome to the Nuff Said podcast. We are talking season 4, episode 2, Meet the New Boss. Not really the same as the old boss. I am Rob Southgate. With me is
Alil Kanitsa.
Were you prepared for some kind of funky name this time?
I was not.
Good, because I didn't do it this time. Let's see. So this is going to be a short one because we've got a time limit on it, which is good for this week because not much happened.
Yeah, it stinks that this early on in the season, especially after a pretty strong episode 1, we get the filler episode. And
it really was too. I mean, it gave us a couple of nuggets, but I really didn't expect it to be this, you know?
Yeah, I thought we would get more than 3 seconds of Ghost Rider. I didn't.
Even that didn't bother me. I mean, I'm like, okay, if they're going to blow their budget on Ghost Rider and it's not going to be every week, we get this tiny bit of Ghost Rider. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Where I had more of a problem is there wasn't much of a story going on.
Well, that's right. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is where like the whole thing kind of fell short on. It was Daisy, antagonizing, Reyes, and
which I actually did like that scene when she went to his place. First, he saw her van out there. Then he went out and tried to confront her. She's not there, and then she's inside. I actually kind of liked all that. There were things I liked. I even liked
it went a little long for me.
That scene did.
I think them like the cuts back and forth to them. I think it went along. I think I didn't need that much back and forth. Yes, it was fun. She was talking about Garfield High School, and if you don't know, they're talking about Stand and Deliver. That was the little nugget to that.
Is that
James
what that
almost,
was?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Who was in last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
But fine, great. I like that little drop, but it was just too much. It was just too much of, oh, I remember you. I've seen you like nobody else has seen.
She did it like 10 times. It seemed like it kept going on and on. I agree.
It could have been like, you could have given me more things. I mean, you dropped out there was nothing mentioned on the LMD storyline, which is fine. I mean, I don't need that every week. I don't need every storyline every week, but maybe give me a little bit more of this ghost thing or whatever these things are. If this is what you're building on the connection to. I mean, you drop it at the end. This is the connection.
Yeah, this is the connection. But did you even care about the connection? I don't really care about the connection. I don't mind them doing the mystery of these ghost things for letting that stretch a little longer. I didn't mind. I don't even need a connection between Ghost Rider and these things. I actually kind of prefer that it's a Ghost Rider thing going on, and they're dealing with that. And then there's this ghost thing. They're thinking there's a connection, and really there's not.
Yeah, my fear is they're trying to explain Ghost Rider. I didn't think it was going to happen, because he's not an Inhuman. They dropped that line,
which is great. They made it fine. No, they made it nice.
But I don't need to know how he became Ghost Rider. I hope that this connection is not a way to explain how he got the Ghost Rider powers.
Well, I don't think it will because maybe it will. That would be lame.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like that was the end scene where you get, I think I'm the connection kind of thing where I'm like, come on. I don't want that. Like, I would rather have you as the spirit of vengeance. Like, this is what you are. You've dropped it. You've talked a lot about it. I don't want a connection to you. And maybe it's not. And maybe I'm just reading into it because we do enjoy this show a lot. I think that's a big thing. I mean, this is why we do the podcast still. But this show has disappointed fans a lot. We get some really, really high highs, and there's been some really low lows.
Right.
And that's my fear with it. Like they're so all over the place with their story that if they do something here wrong, especially with the character of Ghost Rider, I think it could really damage this property, not only S.H.I.E.L.D. but Ghost Rider going forward in the MCU.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll damage Ghost Rider because the character's solid, and with everybody wanting a Netflix show, even if this turns out to be a turd, I think that there was enough excitement around that character that they could easily do a Netflix show.
They could, but if they explain to me that he got it from this supercomputer thing,
that's going to be
the ghosts, That's what
Oh,
I'm
that
saying.
would ruin it.
That's my fear. Like,
But
these people are in this room. How did he know? There was the picture there that he took off the wall, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And I don't think they will, but
No,
they
I
left
think
those little nuggets there, making me think that is a possibility.
I really hope that isn't it. I thought he was taking the picture because this group is a problem. They are tied into whatever caused him to want his vengeance in the first place.
And if that's the case, bravo, I'll take it. Maybe they killed his parents. I don't know. Maybe whatever was working there.
Yeah. Or
And
they put his brother in that wheelchair.
Yeah.
Somehow they're involved in that caused this. Maybe they were doing lab experiments and they cost this kid his ability to walk.
Possible.
And he's getting his vengeance.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, and I mean, he did say he sold his soul to the devil. He did say that he was going for vengeance. That all matches up with the correct story.
Correct. Except
you're right. There is this little
again, and
we've
been wrong many times going through this show.
Never are we wrong on this show.
I didn't get Dalton right. I thought he was going to be Taskmaster, and he was Hive.
Yeah, but you know what? That was a pretty solid one. Although we do have one floating out there, and I can't remember who it is. Who did Charlie say the boss is?
Well, he thought it was Nighthawk, right?
Okay, I don't know enough about Nighthawk.
I don't think it is, though, because the name Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey doesn't match up.
I'm thinking it's here's my. I don't know if you know or if you have an opinion who it is.
I really don't.
Okay.
I mean, I was like, okay, he seems to be like super. He almost seemed like Hyperion, just by looks, but
yeah, he's inhuman. He's got that. My thought here is because it was a weird connection. They dropped Steve Rogers. The story we get from this before the season started that this character has roots back in the old timely comics days. So we're talking 30s, 40s, 50s before, it didn't become Marvel until Fantastic Four.
Right.
The one.
So wait, I didn't remember that. They said that this character
goes back to the 40s and 50s. Yeah.
Okay.
So in that era, like I think it was Phil Cole, I think it was Clark Gregg said it in an interview. And the fact that his name is Jeffrey, there is a Jeffrey Mace.
Yeah, but Jeffrey Mace isn't. I mean, that's just a character. He doesn't have superpowers, does he?
He was once Captain America.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. But that's not who this is. That's not what. I mean, that's not what this is.
But it could be a tie-in. They could use that character, and maybe he's not Captain America, but
that character, did he have powers? Really?
I can't
he just
recall.
Feels like enhanced.
I can't recall, but again, you could change that. I mean, they're using the name Jeffrey because they kept saying Jeffrey. I mean, that kept coming up a lot more than I would have expected.
I just looked it up here. It's right. This is the guy that was he was Patriot in the Young Avengers. That's who Jeffrey Mace is. If we look at the powers, strength, speed, agility, stamina, senses. Okay, so he's Superman.
So they're using the Young Avengers version.
That's what it's saying here.
Yeah, I think you look him up too. I think he in the 50s. I think he was Captain America, or like they retro.
It says that the Patriot became the third Captain America,
something like that, maybe. Yeah.
He was later a member of the World War II superhero team, the Liberty Legion. Oh, you know what? That actually might be kind of interesting to go back to Liberty Legion, like do that type of a thing, because then he has ties to Bucky.
Yeah, and he could have ties to a lot of things, and I think I like the idea that Coulson, not asked for him specifically, but wanted a powered being ahead of it, and the fact that the president would pick him out.
Well, and being the Patriot, that's a perfect
exactly.
Go-to. You're not going to have
you were
Captain
this,
America.
You were Cap. Because we don't know. I mean, they haven't gone back to explain, which they could in this series, that maybe he's that old. Maybe he did pick up the mantle for a while until the war was won. As Cap,
right.
Do that thing, like,
or there's the possibility,
and that's why Coulson knows, because Coulson knows the history of everything.
Coulson does, but he didn't seem to know who this guy was. And
he did. I didn't think that at all. I thought it seemed like he knew everything about him.
Oh, I didn't think so.
Oh, it felt like that because I think Coulson was just playing the game because Coulson was the one to kind of
he wanted a powered guy. Yeah. I just don't know if he knew. Well, maybe he did. If you think about that scene in the hallway,
he didn't flinch when he took May down. He knew everything.
True.
I mean, he knew it all, and I think he's a known entity, at least to Coulson. And remember, Coulson had the black box. Coulson knows everything.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so maybe I'm just not. You know what? I actually found myself a little bored in this episode. So some of this stuff, like I'm not connecting the dots the way I normally do.
I had to watch it twice, and
see, now last week's I've watched twice. This one I'm not watching twice.
Playing Marvel Zooms while it was going on. So
yeah, I was actually playing that. What is that? Future Fight? You know that one?
Yeah.
I was playing that while it was on. Still ranking up my characters. It's so stupid, though. I mean, all you do is rank them up and nothing really happens. They just get stronger, and you find another guy that's strong, and that's it. But you know what? I keep playing it. Well, and the other thing is Patriot. I mean, if he said he's inhuman, that type of being would not have been around when Captain America
we don't
was
know
around. Well, we don't, but it just kind of seems like they're retconning this Inhuman thing in a little too far back.
The title of Inhuman is recent, but these Inhumans have been around for a long time. I mean,
well, that's true.
We've seen this, and the thing is all that could have been is, you know, it could have been. I mean, we have beings here that have been experimented on. So we don't know where he came from, and he could have been something genetic that they don't know. They couldn't have explained it, but he was a good guy, so he's going to help out.
How interesting would it be if this is the route they're going? You know, as much fun as it would be to have Squadron Supreme on here, I'm just stumbling all over my words right now.
That's right.
Liberty Legion is such a niche little group, and I'm looking at it. These were timely superheroes. You had, let's see. Liberty Legion, the Finn. No, it says the Wizard, the Finn, Miss America, Bucky and Toro, Submariner. We know that's not going to happen. Blue Diamond, Jack Frost, Red Raven, and the Thin Man. Like, I'm looking at that lineup thinking that might be interesting if we had kind of a secondary team, because we've said that for a long time. You know, they've got the Secret Warriors, but they don't seem to be handling that correctly yet.
Right. And they won't. I mean,
but they should. They've got the people in place. And once again, if we go back to what I said about how this should run, so this part of it is about Ghost Rider, right? If we have because there's no way that Daisy's not going to be back in the fold by mid-season, right? So once she's back in the fold, if they do episodes that are Secret Warriors issues, you know, just Secret Warrior episodes, then they have episodes where it features the team. And then they could have a team of superheroes that is out there that S.H.I.E.L.D. is involved with. That might be an interesting way to go and fill your time a little bit better. So you're getting all these heroes. They're not the heroes that we normally know, but it would be fun. I think this is an interesting lineup too. So I don't know.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Plus, you could have, if you have Liberty Legion, you could have the whole thing when Cap dies, because he'll probably die in Infinity War.
Cap's not. Nobody's dying. They had their opportunity to kill people in.
They're going to kill him in
Civil War.
They're going to kill him in that.
You know, I mean, what they'll do, they'll end up doing at that point, because we're, you know, by the end it'll be 2020. Those characters will go away, and it'll be a soft reboot, because they'll have.
Well, they have a new Avengers
the youngers,
team.
Yeah, they'll have Ant-Man in for a few more movies. They'll have all these other movies playing out into different Avenger stories.
But I say they're going to kill Cap then. I thought they would have killed him in Civil War, but I think they didn't want to kill him yet, because they want him in Infinity War. Once Infinity War happens, maybe at the end of the first one, even though it's not a two-parter now, even though it is, maybe that's where Cap dies.
Well, it's not. I mean, because we don't know.
And that's where Bucky picks up the mantle.
No, or Falcon.
It's going to be Bucky. It's going to be Bucky.
I don't know. You know, they're playing a lot of.
Bucky's a better choice.
Why?
He's more exciting. He's more dangerous. You got to change up the character. Falcon is a great character, but I don't think he's. I think that Bucky is the choice to take the mantle. That would be my choice to take the mantle.
Yeah, see, I think there'd be a problem with that. It worked in the books.
Why? Yeah.
But I think in the movies, because they were able to tell a big story arc with that and give that whole sense of like Bucky not feeling the worth of having the shield and everything because of all the blood on his hands, a la, how Black Widow sometimes feels.
Right. So you give him Cap 4 is a Bucky story. And at the end of that, he gives up the mantle and Falcon becomes Cap. I don't think the audience would have a problem with that at all. And then Cap.
I just don't think we're going that deep.
But no, I think we are, because listen, here's how that works. You're get one episode
10 years from now.
Of course I am, and watch, we'll be right. Bucky is Cap in Cap 4. At the end of it, he gives up his mantle. Falcon becomes Cap, and he leads the team in that next Avengers movie with the new, younger Avengers that you're talking about. That's
I guess, but. I don't know. I just think.
And then if Steve Rogers comes back, he comes back as a different character. Doesn't he turn into somebody else, Liberty Bell or something like that?
No, he's Nomad for a while, which is kind of how I felt he left it at the end of Civil War.
Kind of. They're not going to do it. I don't think they'll do that. I don't know. Why'd you bring this up?
He won't be Cap. He'll be Steve. And then he was, Rogers. That's who he.
He's going to be Steve. He's going to be on a podcast. He's Steve.
Yeah, from the League. He's on the League of Geeks right now.
That's right. Looks like an Amish guy. So Fitz and Mac, that part of it was.
Move the story along.
Yeah, I love the characters. I love that we saw. They threw us a bone. They showed us the axe rifle again. The shotgun axe, which is awesome. But
their best part of this episode was the end when Fitz kind of blew up at Daisy.
Yeah.
Because in a way Fitz is right, but in a way he's wrong. Because everything that they've all gone through, they've gone through as the heroes. It was Ward that messed up Fitz and they had to save themselves. It was, all these other people doing the bad things.
Yeah, Fitz feels very betrayed at this point.
Daisy's problem was she was the bad doing the bad. Even though she was taken over by Hive,
right? She
tried to go back at the very end. It was a drug to her, and she can't let that part go. And that's why she's.
But there's another layer here, and Mac brought it up when he talked about when he was so upset about Yo-Yo supplying Daisy and how betrayed he felt.
Well, yeah, because they were Skyping and he loved Yo-Yo.
Those older guys, the original team of Fitz and Simmons and Coulson and May and Daisy, to them, when there is somebody betraying within the group, that's going to hold a lot of weight because of what they went through with Ward.
Yeah.
So Mac is feeling a very personal betrayal because of Yo-Yo and how he's flirting with her and they're, whatever. But I think that it's going to have repercussions. It might on the rest of the team. I would think it would, because you feel like, hey, here's somebody who's on the peripheral and she's doing secret stuff behind our back. We went through this and it caused, it made Fitz brain damaged and, it caused all sorts of issues.
Yeah, but she's stealing medicine to help out Daisy. It wasn't that she was giving her like covert information.
Yeah, but you know what?
They were actually robbing the banks and stuff like the director said. When the director said to them, well, she's on the news robbing banks. That's not what's happening here. And I don't think I do think he's upset because he has this relationship with her, but I don't think Fitz and, Simmons, I still don't know what's up with Simmons. I don't know where she's going to end up, what's going to happen.
Well, and what are they doing with her where she's like, oh, great, they've got me doing tours.
Yeah,
why are you taking everything away from the character? I don't get that.
She's
the May part of it. The May part of it, as much fun as it is to see May kick the ass of a room full of people, I wasn't into that.
I was confused though. Who was she on a jet with?
Yeah, the people in the background.
Those weren't those Congress people, right? That's not what that was.
No, did you see the woman looked? She had the same haircut as the one that the director of the other group that died.
That's
the one
what I thought, but are they?
But there's no way it was her.
No,
There's no way it's her. But that's what it looked
Well,
like.
not
It
the
didn't
same
look
actress.
like.
So
Yeah, it didn't look like
couldn't
the senators or whatever was there. Didn't look like that. But it was whatever the president did. Or not president, the director. Now, it could be if he is part of one of these teams, that what we were seeing is handlers for that team. They're taking her, he's handling it. They are going to extract whatever is going on. They can't do it publicly. They can't have it around S.H.I.E.L.D. So it could be something like that.
He did say it was classified. My guess is he's got his own subset of team of trustworthy people to handle the two things that Coulson can't.
Right.
Because I do think he genuinely like trusts Coulson, but I understand in his mind, like, Coulson will go to the ends of the earth, which he did, in the last season to save his people, and sometimes he can't make that call as director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
So I was just curious. Like it just threw me off. I seeing her strapped down. I got that, but like I was like, who are these people? So
yeah, I don't know who it was. I did pause it and look. I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, once again, not a lot happened here. I was a little bit. I was playing a game on my phone last week. There was no way.
Oh yeah, it was I don't want to say downer, but you have. I think this show has a lot riding on this season, and you have to come out swinging for the first 4 or 5 episodes, and the fact that we have a break next week, blows my mind. I'm like, come on, 2 weeks and then a week off. I would have just like.
Is that unbelievable?
I'm wondering why. There's got to be something happening, and that's why. I don't know what's happening.
Well, what do you mean, on the show or? Yeah,
no, like that. I don't know. Is baseball starting? Is there something like?
There's got to be something.
Maybe I don't know.
Playoffs or something.
Something is getting in the way of them showing it. I don't know.
But then you know what? If that's the case, start it a couple of weeks later.
Right. I mean, I
hate that. I hate when they do that. You lose momentum very quickly. And if this was a filler episode, to have momentum shot, it's like, wow, we got to wait 2 weeks. And
yeah, because I guarantee you, I have.
It's not going to be a huge bang out episode either from what the preview.
No, I have two co-hosts that I do my other show with, the League Geeks. And I guarantee when we talk about this episode, they're going to be like, you know what, I'm not interested anymore. You know what? If I hear Ghost Rider coming back, and if it comes back strong, maybe I'll flip it back on. But right now, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah, when you get 30 seconds of Ghost Rider and the rest of it is just really not much going on.
No.
I mean, the beginning with the ghost was kind of cool. I didn't love it, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't need special effects every second. I've said that the whole time. I mean, it's great that they're doing this, and I think it's a move in the right direction.
Yeah.
I just need stronger scripts, a stronger story. You're not telling me much of a story right now.
No.
You're throwing a bunch of threads out there, and they're a little bit uninteresting.
Disappointing.
Yeah. Too bad.
So,
all right. Well, that's it. That's the end. Enough said for tonight. Thanks for listening, everybody. Alil, where can they find you?
They can find me at the League of Geeks at LOGEEKZ on Twitter.
Thank goodness you knew what that was. And you can find this show at Nuff Said Podcast on Twitter. Coming up next is the mighty Nuff Said Reading Club. So if you want to watch that, it's going to be here in a couple of minutes. And we're going to be talking about The Runaways by Brian K. Vaughan, which is an awesome book. And we even know what we're going to be doing next week, too. But I'm not telling. You got to watch the show to see that. And that show is not made into a podcast. This is. That is it for tonight. Watch us this Saturday. We will be at the Blue Box Cafe for the podcast marathon. Nuff Said will be live. It'll be me. It'll be Alil. And it'll be Jack. Yeah.
Woo-hoo, Jack.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Boy, are you going to be disappointed, Alil. So it's going to be funny to put the two of you next to each other.
Why?
He's short. He's a little guy.
I can tell. He's like 5'2".
It's going to look like, you ever see Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah.
And you've got the businessman and his little his son.
Yeah.
That's going to be you two guys.
Yeah. What are you into?
I'm gonna love it. Lots of pictures of that. I wish we could get you guys to wear the same like powder blue suits. That would be
amazing.
That'd be too much. I think we'd have to shut down everything.
Like DeVito and Schwarzenegger and twins.
Well, actually, exactly like the ones in Smokey and the Bandit. But yeah, we could go with twins.
I remember that. I'm remembering twins, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to go just Google Smokey and the Bandit. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, that's it.
Enough said.
Enough said.